Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today I wanted to talk to you about muscle tension and misalignment. And so, if you hear a little bit of noise, it's been raining. And what I realized is yesterday's video, I didn't realize how loud the rain was. It had a pretty good roar going to it in the video. Anyway, let's relax a little bit. Figured I'd shoot here at my desk. Somebody complained that the wobbliness of me holding the camera was getting to them. So let's try this out and see how it goes. You guys and gals can let me know how that works for you. So, relax your body so that you can breathe. That's different than formal breath work. Just let your body go loose. Your breathing will take on a more natural rhythm. So, muscle tension and misalignment. So there's a lot of people, myself included, whose bodies got misaligned. I don't know if you saw the picture. If you go to painfreeyou.com and scroll about halfway down, you will see pictures of me all jacked up and crooked. And I drew lines, and it's all, my spine looks like an S, And essentially what was going on is it felt like one leg was longer than the other. Now, I didn't grow a longer leg or have one shrink because I had back pain and sciatica. What ended up happening was one of the brain's protection mechanisms is tension. For example, if somebody looks like they're about to haul off and punch you, we tense. We tighten up. If you were to joke around with some friends and say, all right, punch me in the stomach, we tighten it up so we can take it, right? And we see that with boxers and all sorts of stuff. Tension is a protective mechanism. It's natural, it's instinctive. Animals do it, they get on guard. People do it. And when we are experiencing symptoms, persistent symptoms like chronic pain, the brain, in order to protect that body part, will create muscle tension. And in my case, I walked like a robot for a long, long time, many, many, many years. And the tension in my torso and back was so tight that movement was difficult, bending over, all sorts of things. Why? Because the brain was saying, don't move it, you got a bad back, you're going to hurt it. And my brain had learned those things through experience. The very first time I had an onset of back pain was when I bent over. Crazy story, I was bending over to put on my underwear of all things, getting ready for work one day. And my brain quickly learned that bending over is when the back goes out, and it learned to tighten up the muscles in a way to protect me. Now, it did not tighten up the muscles equally. And in my case, I also had a lot of compensating positions. So sitting in a chair, I would list over to the one side because it was more comfortable. So the brain doesn't create the tension equally. So I had mostly lower back pain. Sometimes it was on the right, sometimes it was on the left. I think it was more on the right, more so than the left. As a result, the tension on the right was a little bit more, and it pulled my hips out of alignment, which led to, it feeling like one leg was longer than the other. It wasn't. It was just that my hips were out of whack. So one hip was higher than the other and made it seem like the legs were out of alignment, or one was longer than the other. But when the hips go out of alignment, the spine goes up this way. But then it has to curve back so you don't fall over. So hips out of alignment, muscle spasm pulled it out of alignment, spine curved back. So my shoulders and head were on a tilt. And go look at the video. I'll try to put it in the thumbnail of this video so you can actually see it. But my misalignment was very extreme. And I had the benefit, I emailed Dr. Schuer at one point, and I had said, hey, doc, take a look at these pictures. What do you think? And his answer was perfect. He said, you're not in pain because you're crooked. You're crooked because you've been in pain. And to me that said, okay, being crooked was not the problem. So for anybody who's crooked, misaligned, pulled out of whack, That's not the problem. That's the result, in my experience, in my opinion, from working with countless people. I think the same thing can happen in multiple areas of our body. TMJ, misaligned bite. Well, how does that happen? How does our jaw all of a sudden go out of whack? I think pain creates muscle tension, which creates jaw being pulled out of alignment, and the bite is not as even as it used to be. I think that can absolutely happen. And interestingly enough, my theory on vision problems, and I know an eye doctor, he was telling me about how most people as they hit a certain age need reading glasses. And he was talking about the muscles that control the eyes. And he says as we get older, he's like 100% of people are going to need readers because the muscles that control the eye focus, right, I guess get weaker as we get older. I don't really know. I don't understand it completely, but he did say that there are muscles that control eye focus. If you don't believe me, cross your eyes. Cross them. Look down at your nose. Everything gets blurry, right? Because when the muscles pull the eyeballs out of alignment, it gets blurry. My belief on blurry vision is that we can have some muscle tension in and around the eyes, and that can create eyes that are slightly misaligned. So, muscle tension, misalignment. What's causing all that? The brain controls everything in the human body. We cannot do anything with our human body, consciously or subconsciously, without the brain. You cut the head off, nothing in the body moves. It's done. So the brain is the origin. A brain perceiving danger can create tension, which can create misalignment, which we then fear. At the same time, the brain can create pain, which causes the tension, which can cause the misalignment. And so it's all connected to a brain perceiving danger. What's the solution? I tried stretching. I tried doing all sorts of stuff to realign my body. None of it worked. It only made me worse. Why? Because I was focused on my body being the problem. Same thing with stuff with like jaw misalignment or vision problems or whatever it may be. I think trying to fix the muscle tension and the misalignment just keeps the brain focused on you've got a body problem. And I think that creates more of an issue long term. So it's really important that we go farther upstream to the root cause of brain perceiving danger. And that's where we focus our solution, which is teaching the brain that I'm actually okay. I'm not in danger. There's nothing harmful going on. And when the brain feels safer, guess what happens? It can turn off the pain, or it can turn off the tension, which can realign things. And look, I will say, 15 years later after my pain left, 14 years, thereabouts, if I stood in front of a mirror, I still have a teeny bit of misalignment. But I don't hurt, and I haven't had any chronic back pain for a decade and a half. So misalignment is not the problem. Misalignment doesn't cause the pain. Misalignment is often the result of pain and the tension in the body, which the brain creates to protect us and that part that's in pain. So I really wanted to make this super, super clear for you. As long as you're trying to fix the misalignment and the muscle tension, the tightness, you're focused on the body and you're confirming the brain's belief that the body's the issue. But it's not. It's really not, folks. And so go upstream, focus here, teach the brain that my body's fine. And look, a lot of people will say, well, Dan, what did you do once you got rid of the pain? How did you realign your body? I didn't. The body took care of itself. Once the brain turned off the pain and it eased up the tension, my body went from this twisted thing to realignment, all on its own. Is it perfect? No. If I had somebody, take a look at me, they'd be like, yeah, you got a slight curve. But it doesn't matter because I don't hurt. And it was never the problem. That was the end result of the problem. Brain perceiving danger, creating pain, creating tension, creating the misalignment. Focus on upstream. Teach the brain that you're fine so that it can turn off the pain and the muscle tension, and the misalignment will resolve itself. And I think that holds true for vision problems TMJ, misalignments, back pain, hips, you name it. So I think that's the way to go. My experience, definitely what worked for me. So I hope that made sense to all of you folks. I'm going to wrap this one up here. And as usual, I love you. And we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.